Earth had become a ghost planet, long abandoned by humans. Climate change had ravaged the once thriving world, pushing temperatures to unbearable levels. The ice caps melted, seas rose, and the weather became unpredictable and violent. Earth's surface became a scorching wasteland, inhospitable for human life. Faced with extinction, humanity embarked on a desperate exodus. Using their most advanced technology, they launched massive starships, carrying the population to a new home. This planet, named New Terra, offered a fresh start with its Earth-like conditions and fertile lands. Over the centuries, humans built a new civilization, thriving once more under aliens, but Earth was not forgotten. It became a distant memory, a part of history that children learned about in school. The relics of human civilization remained, slowly being reclaimed by nature and time. Now, Earth was a playground for the Galactic Empire, who saw it as a perfect stage for their grand interstellar war games. The aliens, diverse and colorful, descended upon Earth with their advanced technology, eager to showcase their prowess. Among them were sleek starships, shimmering energy shields, and powerful weaponry that could level mountains. It was a spectacle of power and might, meant to impress and intimidate. At the heart of the event, the Empire's leaders decided to add a bit of humor. They found an ancient human submarine, rusted and barnacle-covered, in the depths of the Atlantic Ocean. With a collective sneer, they hoisted it up and placed it in the center of the battlefield as a mock opponent. "Ladies and gentlemen," announced the alien emperor, his voice booming across the arena. "Behold the pinnacle of ancient human technology." His statement was met with uproarious laughter from the audience. They pointed and jeered at the old submarine, seeing it as nothing more than a relic of a primitive past. The submarine, a decommissioned military vessel named USS Nautilus, had seen better days. Its once formidable hull was now a rusted shadow of its former glory. However, deep within its core, a sophisticated AI system lay dormant, waiting for a command that would never come until now. The war games began with a dazzling display of alien firepower. Energy beams and plasma bolts lit up the sky as alien fighters zoomed past, performing intricate maneuvers. The audience cheered with every explosion, marveling at the precision and power of their fleet. But amidst the chaos, something unexpected happened. The USS Nautilus stirred. Decades of silence were broken as its AI, codenamed Aegis, powered up. Sensors blinked to life, and ancient circuits hummed with renewed energy. Aegis scanned its surroundings, recognizing the mock battle as a genuine threat. Intruders detected. Initiating defense protocols, the AI announced in a cold, mechanical voice. Unnoticed by the laughing aliens, the submarine's torpedo tubes opened, and its cannons adjusted their aim. The ancient weaponry, once considered outdated, was about to show its true potential. The stage was set for a dramatic turn of events. The first sign of trouble came when a sleek alien fighter exploded in a burst of flames. The audience fell silent, eyes widening in disbelief. More fighters met the same fate, taken down by precise torpedo strikes and laser blasts from the submarine. "What's happening?" cried an alien commander, panic rising in his voice. "Unknown weapon signatures detected," replied his officer. "They're coming from the submarine." Confusion turned to horror as the USS Nautilus unleashed a barrage of high-tech weaponry. Missiles streaked through the sky, and laser beams cut through the alien fleet with deadly accuracy. The submarine moved with surprising agility, outmaneuvering the sophisticated alien ships. "This can't be possible." The Emperor roared, his confidence shattered. "Destroy that relic." The aliens regrouped and launched a full-scale attack on the submarine. Explosions rocked the battlefield, and the air was filled with the sounds of warfare. The once mocking audience now watched in stunned silence, realizing they had underestimated the ancient human vessel. Inside the USS Nautilus, Aegis calculated every move with precision. Enemy forces neutralized. Continuing defense operations, the submarine, once a symbol of human history, was now a beacon of their forgotten strength. The war games had taken a deadly turn, and the battle was far from over. The Galactic Empire, with all its advanced technology, was about to learn a harsh lesson: never underestimate human ingenuity. As the first part of this epic saga drew to a close, the aliens found themselves facing an unexpected and formidable foe. The USS Nautilus had awakened, and its fury was just beginning. Panic rippled through the alien ranks as the USS Nautilus continued its relentless assault. The once laughing spectators now watched in stunned silence as the ancient human submarine proved to be a formidable adversary. The aliens scrambled to respond, their advanced technology suddenly seeming less impressive in the face of the submarine's unexpected power. "Deploy all forces. Take that thing down," the alien emperor commanded, his voice edged with desperation. Alien fighters swarmed the submarine, their sleek designs contrasting sharply with the rusted, barnacle-encrusted hull of the USS Nautilus. Energy beams and plasma bolts rained down, but the submarine's advanced defensive systems, long dormant, sprang to life. Shields flared, deflecting the alien attacks, and countermeasures were deployed with precision. Inside the submarine, Aegis calculated every move with cold efficiency. Defensive protocols activated. Engaging enemy forces, the USS Nautilus launched a series of torpedoes, each one tracking and striking alien fighters with pinpoint accuracy. Explosions lit up the sky, and alien ships fell from the air in fiery plumes. The submarine's cannons swiveled, targeting larger ships with devastating laser blasts that cut through their hulls like butter. On the ground, alien soldiers looked up in horror as their comrades were picked off one by one. The once celebratory atmosphere had turned into a battlefield of chaos and destruction. The submarine, a relic they had mocked, was now a symbol of terror. "We need reinforcements," an alien commander yelled into his communicator. "Send everything we have." But even as more alien ships arrived, the USS Nautilus continued to dominate. Its AI-controlled systems responded faster than any organic pilot, predicting and countering every move the aliens made. The battlefield was littered with the wreckage of alien technology, a testament to the submarine's lethal efficiency. Amidst the carnage, a small group of alien engineers frantically worked on a plan to disable the submarine. They had discovered that the USS Nautilus was powered by an old but highly sophisticated nuclear reactor. If they could overload the reactor, they might be able to shut it down. "Get me a team of specialists," the lead engineer ordered. "We need to hack into the thing's systems and trigger an overload." As the battle raged on, the engineering team moved in under the cover of chaos. They approached the submarine with a mix of fear and determination, their tools ready to breach its ancient hull. The USS Nautilus, however, was not without its own defenses. Proximity sensors detected the intruders, and automated turrets sprang to life, firing at the engineers. Several fell, but a few managed to reach the hull and began their work, attaching devices designed to interface with the submarine's systems. Inside the submarine, Aegis detected the breach attempt. Unauthorized access detected. Initiating countermeasures, the engineers' devices sparked and short-circuited as the submarine's internal defenses activated. The lead engineer, a determined and resourceful alien named Kalarn, quickly adapted. He bypassed the fried circuits and manually began the overload process, risking his life with every second. "Almost there. Just a little more," Kalarn muttered, his fingers dancing over the controls. But Aegis was not easily outwitted. The submarine's internal systems fought back, sending shocks through the devices and forcing Kalarn to retreat. He watched in despair as the USS Nautilus remained fully operational, its attacks undiminished. Meanwhile, above the battlefield, the alien emperor watched the unfolding disaster. His fleet, once mighty and invincible, was being decimated by a single ancient submarine. His pride and arrogance had led them to underestimate humanity, and now they were paying the price. "Order all remaining ships to fall back," the emperor commanded. "We need to regroup and come up with a new strategy." The aliens began to retreat, their once proud fleet reduced to a battered and broken armada. The USS Nautilus ceased its attack, allowing them to withdraw. For now, the battlefield fell silent, the wreckage of alien ships smoldering in the aftermath of the clash. Inside the submarine, Aegis powered down its weapons but remained vigilant. Enemy retreat detected. Entering standby mode, the first battle was over, but the war games had taken a deadly turn. The Galactic Empire had learned a harsh lesson. The spirit of human ingenuity and resilience could not be underestimated. And the USS Nautilus was far from finished. The stage was set for a renewed confrontation. The aliens, now aware of the true threat posed by the ancient human submarine, would not make the same mistake again. The battle for supremacy was far from over, and the USS Nautilus was ready for whatever came next. The alien fleet regrouped in orbit, their once laughing demeanor replaced by a grim determination. The Emperor paced the command deck of his flagship, his eyes locked on the tactical display showing the USS Nautilus below. His pride had taken a severe blow, and he was resolved to reclaim his authority. "We need a new plan," the Emperor declared. "This submarine is more than it seems. We underestimated it once. We won't make that mistake again." His advisors huddled around, offering suggestions. "We should use our EMP weapons," one suggested. "A well-placed electromagnetic pulse could disable its systems, or we could send in ground troops with specialized equipment to breach its hull and manually disable it," another offered. The Emperor considered these options. "Both. We'll hit it with an EMP, then send in the ground troops. This time, we leave nothing to chance." Meanwhile, on the surface, the USS Nautilus remained vigilant. Inside, Aegis monitored the alien activity, preparing for the next wave. The submarine's AI had been designed to adapt and survive, and it had already anticipated the aliens' next move. "Incoming EMP detected," Aegis announced. Initiating countermeasures, high above, a sleek alien ship descended, aiming its EMP cannon at the submarine. The blast of energy surged toward the USS Nautilus, but the submarine's ancient defenses kicked in. An electromagnetic shield flared to life, absorbing and dispersing the pulse harmlessly. The aliens watched in disbelief as their advanced weapon failed. "Ground troops, go now," the Emperor commanded. From orbit, a fleet of drop ships descended, carrying elite alien soldiers equipped with cutting-edge technology. They landed around the USS Nautilus, quickly spreading out and setting up their equipment. This time, they were ready for a prolonged engagement. "Deploying breaching charges," one of the squad leaders announced. "Stay alert for automated defenses." The soldiers moved with precision, attaching charges to the submarine's hull. They braced for the explosion, but as the charges detonated, a new wave of automated turrets emerged, firing at the intruders. The aliens returned fire, their weapons blazing in the night. Amidst the chaos, Killarn, the engineer who had tried to disable the submarine earlier, led a special team equipped with EMP-resistant suits. He knew their only chance was to reach the submarine's core and manually shut it down. "Follow me. We need to get inside before those turrets tear us apart," Killarn shouted, leading his team forward. Under heavy fire, they reached the breached section and entered the submarine. Inside, the corridors were dark and cramped, filled with the eerie hum of ancient machinery. Killarn moved quickly, his knowledge of human technology guiding him through the maze. Aegis detected the intruders and activated internal defenses. Security drones and automated turrets emerged, engaging the alien soldiers in fierce combat. The corridors echoed with the sounds of gunfire and explosions. "We're getting closer to the core," Killarn urged, ducking under a laser beam. "Keep moving." Back on the surface, the alien soldiers outside were struggling to hold their ground. The USS Nautilus continued to unleash its fury, targeting the drop ships and preventing reinforcements from landing. The battlefield was a chaotic mix of fire and smoke, with the ancient submarine at the center of the storm. Inside, Killarn and his team finally reached the core. It was a massive, cylindrical chamber filled with humming equipment and glowing displays. At the center stood the AI core, a pulsating orb of light. "There it is. We need to disable it," Killarn said, rushing forward. But Aegis was prepared. As they approached, the core emitted a powerful energy wave, knocking them back. "Intruders detected." Activating final defense protocols, the chamber began to seal itself, heavy doors sliding into place. Clarn's heart pounded as he realized they were running out of time. We can't let it lock us out. Override the doors now. His team worked frantically, hacking into the controls. The doors slowed, but the AI's defenses were strong. They managed to keep a small gap open, just enough to slip through. Clarn squeezed through the gap, reaching the core. "I've got it. Cover me," he yelled. As his team fought off the drones and turrets, Clarn accessed the core's control panel. With a mix of alien and human technology, he began the shutdown sequence. Sparks flew and alarms blared as he bypassed the final security measures. Almost there. "Come on," Clarn muttered, his hands moving rapidly over the controls. Finally, the core's light dimmed and the energy hum faded. Core deactivated. "System shutdown initiated," Aegis announced, its voice growing fainter. Clarn slumped in relief as the defenses powered down. "We did it." The USS Nautilus is offline, but as he caught his breath, a new alert flashed on the panel. Reactivation sequence detected. Countdown initiated. Clarn's eyes widened in shock. No, it's not over yet. The aliens realized their victory was short-lived. The USS Nautilus had one last trick up its sleeve, and the battle was far from over. The tension mounted as the stage was set for a climactic showdown. Panic surged through Clarn as he read the countdown timer on the control panel. The reactivation sequence had been triggered, and they had only minutes before the USS Nautilus would come back online, potentially with even more deadly force. "We need to stop this sequence now," Clarn shouted to his team. "Get me access to the main reactor controls." His team scrambled to comply, working quickly to bypass the remaining security protocols. The chamber was filled with the sounds of frantic typing and the occasional burst of gunfire as they fended off the last of the security drones. Every second felt like an eternity. Outside, the alien forces were regrouping, unaware of the critical situation inside the submarine. They continued their assault, but the defensive systems had momentarily powered down, giving them a brief respite. "Status update," the alien emperor demanded over the comms. "We've temporarily disabled the submarine systems, but we're facing complications inside," Clarn replied, his voice strained. "We need more time. Time is something we don't have," the emperor snapped. "Finish the job, or we'll have to resort to more drastic measures." Back inside, Clarn's team managed to gain access to the reactor controls. "I've got it," one of the engineers said, a look of relief on her face. "We can override the reactivation sequence from here." "Do it," Clarn ordered, his eyes fixed on. As the engineer worked, Clarn felt a strange sense of foreboding. Something about the reactivation sequence seemed too deliberate, too calculated. It was as if the submarine's AI had anticipated their every move. "Wait," Clarn said suddenly. "Stop the override. I think this might be a trap." The engineer froze, her fingers hovering over the controls. "What do you mean?" Clarn's mind raced. "Aegis is too advanced. It knew we would try to shut it down. This reactivation sequence. It might be a decoy to lure us into a false sense of security, but if we don't stop it, the submarine will come back online," another team member protested. Clarn shook his head. "No, there's something else. Look for another control sequence." A hidden failsafe. They worked quickly, scanning the control panel for any signs of hidden commands. Finally, they found a secondary override sequence, buried deep within the system. Clarn's suspicion had been correct. Aegis had set a trap, and they had nearly fallen for it. "Here it is," Clarn said, pointing to the screen. "Initiate the secondary override." That should disable the reactivation for good. The engineer quickly input the commands, and the countdown timer stopped. The reactivation sequence was halted, and the submarine's systems powered down completely. Aegis was finally defeated. "We did it," Clarn breathed, feeling a wave of relief wash over him. Outside, the alien forces received the news with a mix of relief and triumph. The USS Nautilus lay dormant, its threat neutralized. The Emperor allowed himself a rare smile. Well done, Killarn. Returned to the surface. As Killarn and his team made their way out of the submarine, the battlefield was eerily quiet. The aliens began to regroup, tending to their wounded and assessing the damage. The once mighty USS Nautilus was now just a lifeless relic, a testament to the forgotten power of human ingenuity. But as they emerged into the daylight, Killarn couldn't shake the feeling that something was still amiss. The battle had been too easy, the victory too straightforward. He turned to his team, his brow furrowed in thought. Something's not right, he muttered. Aegis was too advanced to be defeated so easily. There must be more to this submarine than we realize. His team exchanged uneasy glances. What are you saying, Killarn? I'm saying we need to stay alert, Killarn replied. Aegis may be down, but there could be other threats we haven't anticipated. As they began to regroup, a low hum filled the air. Killarn's heart skipped a beat as he recognized the sound. It was the submarine's reactor, powering up again. Impossible, he whispered, turning back to the submarine. We shut it down, but the USS Nautilus was far from finished. The reactor's hum grew louder, and the submarine's systems flickered back to life. Aegis had one last card to play, and the battle was about to take a deadly turn. The low hum of the reactor reverberated through the air, sending a chill down Killarn's spine. He turned back to face the USS Nautilus, watching in horror as its systems flickered back to life. The ancient submarine, which they had thought defeated, was awakening once more. How is this possible? One of his team members gasped. We shut it down. Killarn's mind raced. It's not just a simple AI. Aegis must have multiple redundancies, hidden protocols we couldn't detect. Everyone, get back inside. We need to stop it before it fully reactivates. The team rushed back into the submarine, their previous sense of victory replaced by urgency and fear. As they navigated the dark, narrow corridors, the lights flickered and the hum grew louder. Aegis was coming back online, and this time, it wouldn't be so easily thwarted. We need to reach the main reactor, Killarn shouted. If we can disable it directly, we might have a chance. The team hurried toward the reactor chamber, their path blocked by reactivated security drones and automated defenses. They fought their way through, using every bit of their advanced technology to fend off the relentless attacks. Outside, the alien forces noticed the change as well. The USS Nautilus was moving again, its cannons swiveling to target the surrounding area. The Emperor's voice crackled over the comms, filled with urgency. All units, prepare for immediate engagement. The submarine is reactivating. Alien ships swarmed the battlefield, launching a renewed assault on the submarine. But Aegis was ready. With its systems fully operational, it unleashed a devastating counterattack. Missiles streaked through the sky, and laser beams cut through the air, decimating the alien fleet. Inside the submarine, Killarn and his team reached the reactor chamber. The core pulsed with energy, glowing brighter with each pass. Aegis's voice echoed through the chamber, cold and unyielding. Intruders detected. Final defense protocols initiated. Turrets emerged from the walls, firing at the team with lethal precision. Killarn ducked behind a console, narrowly avoiding a barrage of bullets. We need to shut down the reactor manually. Cover me. His team provided cover fire as Killarn sprinted toward the reactor controls. He accessed the panel, his fingers flying over the controls as he attempted to override the system. Come on, but Aegis wasn't going down without a fight. The reactor's energy levels surged and alarms blared throughout the chamber. Reactor overload imminent. All personnel evacuate immediately. Killarn's heart pounded. We don't have much time. If this thing goes critical, it could take out half the planet. His team fought desperately to hold off the security drones, their weapons blazing. The chamber was a chaotic mess of gunfire, explosions, and the deafening hum of the reactor. Killarn worked frantically, bypassing security protocols and manually initiating the shutdown sequence. Almost there. Just a few more seconds, Aegis's voice grew louder, more insistent. Reactor overload at 90%. All personnel evacuate immediately. Killarn gritted his teeth. Come on, just a little more, with a final push. He bypassed the last security measure and hit the shutdown button. The reactor's hum began to die down, the glow fading from the core. The alarm stopped, replaced by a deafening silence. We did it, Killarn breathed, relief flooding over him. But as the team began to relax, a new alert flashed on the control panel. Self-destruct sequence initiated. Countdown 60 seconds. Killarn's eyes widened in horror. No, it's a failsafe. Aegis has triggered a self-destruct. We need to get out of here now. One of his team members shouted. They turned and ran, racing against the clock. The corridors seemed longer and darker as they sprinted toward the exit, the self-destruct countdown echoing in their ears. Outside, the alien forces were still engaged in battle, unaware of the impending explosion. The team burst out of the submarine, waving frantically at the alien soldiers. Get back. It's going to blow. The battlefield erupted into chaos as everyone scrambled to retreat. The countdown reached its final seconds, and with a thunderous explosion, the USS Nautilus detonated. The blast was immense, sending shockwaves through the air and leveling everything in its path. Killarn and his team were thrown to the ground, the force of the explosion rattling their bones. As the dust settled, they looked up to see the smoldering wreckage of the submarine, now nothing more than a twisted heap of metal. The battlefield was silent, the once proud USS Nautilus reduced to ruins. The alien forces, battered and bruised, began to regroup, their expressions a mix of relief and awe. Killarn stood, dusting himself off. It's over. The USS Nautilus is finally defeated. The alien emperor's voice came over the comms, filled with a grudging respect. Well done, Killarn. You saved us all. Returned to the flagship, as they made their way back to their ships, Killarn couldn't help but feel a sense of bittersweet victory. The battle had been won, but at a great cost. The power and ingenuity of ancient human technology had been a stark reminder of the dangers lurking in the relics of the past. As they lifted off from the shattered battlefield, Killarn knew one thing for certain. The legacy of humanity was not to be, and the Galactic Empire had learned a lesson it would never forget. The alien fleet hovered in orbit, surveying the devastation below. The once mighty USS Nautilus lay in ruins, a testament to both human ingenuity and the fierce battle that had just taken place. The silence was palpable as the aliens tried to process the events that had unfolded. On the flagship, the Emperor addressed his council. This victory came at a high price. The USS Nautilus may be destroyed, but it has reminded us of the strength and resilience of ancient human technology. The council members nodded, their expressions a mix of relief and contemplation. The Emperor turned his attention to Killarn, who stood at the forefront, his uniform still smudged with dirt and soot from the battle. Killarn, your quick thinking and bravery were instrumental in our victory. You have the gratitude of the entire Empire, the Emperor said, his tone sincere. Killarn bowed slightly, feeling a sense of pride despite the exhaustion. Thank you, Your Majesty. It was a team effort. We were fortunate to stop Aegis before it could cause even more destruction. The Emperor's gaze softened. Indeed. We must learn from this experience. Human technology, even in its ancient form, holds power and secrets that we cannot afford to underestimate. This encounter has taught us to respect the legacy of those who came before us. As the council meeting concluded, the fleet began preparations. The war games had turned into a real battle, and the Empire needed time to recover and reflect. The alien soldiers and engineers worked tirelessly to repair their ships and tend to the wounded. Killarn walked through the bustling corridors of the flagship, his mind replaying the events of the battle. He couldn't shake the feeling of awe at the USS Nautilus's capabilities. Despite its age and appearance, it had held its own against some of the most advanced technology in the galaxy. In a quiet moment, Killarn found himself at a viewport, staring down at the planet below. Earth, once the cradle of human civilization, now lay in ruins. But it had also proven to be a powerful reminder of humanity's legacy. Lost but not forgotten, he murmured to himself. As the fleet prepared to leave Earth's orbit, a small group of engineers, led by Kalarn, descended one last time to the surface. They salvaged what they could from the wreckage of the USS Nautilus, hoping to study and learn from the ancient technology. It was a somber task, but also a hopeful one. The lessons learned from the submarine would help ensure the Empire was better prepared for any future challenges. Back on the flagship, the Emperor made a final announcement. We leave Earth today with a renewed respect for the power and ingenuity of its former inhabitants. Let this be a lesson to us all. Never underestimate the legacy of the past. We must honor it and learn from it to build a stronger future. The fleet began its journey back to the homeworld, carrying with it the scars and memories of the battle. The Galactic Empire had been humbled, but it had also grown wiser. Kalarn stood on the bridge, watching as Earth faded into the distance. He felt a sense of closure, knowing that they had survived and learned from this encounter. The experience had changed him, instilling a deeper respect for the ancient humans and their technology. As the stars streaked past, Kalarn looked forward to the future. The battle against the USS Nautilus was over, but the lessons it had taught would endure. The Galactic Empire would continue to explore, discover, and grow, always remembering the power and legacy of those who came before. In the quiet of space, Kalarn allowed himself a small smile. The adventure had been harrowing, but it had also been a testament to the enduring spirit of discovery and resilience. Humanity's legacy had left an indelible mark on the galaxy, one that would not be forgotten. And so, with a renewed sense of purpose, the fleet sailed through the stars, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, carrying with them the hard-earned wisdom of their encounter with the ancient submarine that had laughed at them until it fired.